Hello everyone, welcome back to the grey area.
Hi everyone, my name is Seiji Nakano.
And I'm Marta Jep, and again, this is the grey area.
Mm-hmm.
And in the grey area, we talk about kindness, and we analyze it from different points of view and perspectives, and we're these two analyzing geeks who really like to analyze kindness, really. So that's the point. If it resonates with you, for any reason, just come and join us. If you want to drink, cool. If you don't want to drink, that's cool as well. We've been saying come with it, join us with some wine. It's not that necessary.
Well, it's always
but
the
anyway.
wine is nice, but this.
Yeah, well, not now. We'll keep the tea. It's early in the morning.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, anyway, just come and join us if you feel like, and you're welcome. Very, very welcome. So we were talking about kindness last week.
Mm-hmm.
We were saying how deep it was, and then actually it didn't. It's bloody deep, man.
It is.
And actually, for the Western and the Eastern, well, now I'm a bit confused. Is it Eastern? No, it's Asian.
Asian, right? Or Eastern? Well, Eastern Asian probably.
It's very broad.
Yeah,
that's a very broad term. Anyway, Seiji is from Japan. I'm Spanish. We haven't really said that from the last.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We kind of give it for granted, and it's like, well, yeah, there are massive differences. But anyway, we have very different points of view on what kindness means, and mine is way more shallow than the Japanese term, which was, well, now not anymore. I'm a deep thinker, so that doesn't, but in the Western cultures, usually it's a little bit more shallow than in the Japanese culture, which is very interesting to see. So we talked about that, and if we want to have a recap, you can go back to episode 5 and then just go and have a check. And we were talking about Snow White as well, and how she looked. So we do this thing for everyone who's new. We take a Disney movie. I take mine this week. And we kind of talk about it from the topic we're talking about. So last week it was Snow White, and she wasn't kind. No. We had this massive discovery. She wasn't kind at all. It's like, come on. Not at all. She was nice, but she wasn't kind. And we agreed that today we were going to talk about what is being nice and what is being kind. It's kind of, it's a term that it gets very confused.
It does.
And we don't really know the boundaries between niceness and kindness. So, it's massive revelation last week with Snow. Like, what?
Yeah, actually, that revelation of that the Snow White wasn't actually that kind, but just being nice. Got me into thinking whole this week, every day. Reflecting on what happened.
I could picture you every day since the morning, early in the morning, like, oh, what is nice? That was nice. And just going for every single photograph of the movie, like, that was nice, that was kind, that was nice, that was kind. I could just.
By the way, that's exactly what I did whole week.
Yeah, you see.
That's the thing that about us, that we get fixated on the ideas and we tend to analyze too much. And go too geeky on those topics, which is great sometimes.
Don't include me.
All right, myself, I overdid it.
You go on extra level. I get fixated, but yours is like something outside, which is okay. Exactly. Go back. Sorry.
So basically, it got to the level of me playing the game. Was it nice or kind? So
Yeah.
I talked to my mom and I said something to her, and then later on I reflected, was it kind or was it nice? So whole day I keep thinking to my boss as well. I'm just talking to him, and I gave him some idea, slightly a bit more assertive way, and I was thinking after that discussion, I was thinking, was it nice or was it kind? So,
I think if you had a show,
yeah.
Seiji's show or something, like you would have this section on is it nice or is it kind? It's like
so everyone's gonna have a flag that nice.
Yeah, exactly, just nice,
kind.
and then you just give like some kind of case study that you found in your job or whatever.
Yeah.
Case number 1 with a PowerPoint. Is it nice or is it kind? I actually could picture you making a PowerPoint every day.
I know.
Some diagram, something like, oh, that was nice, that was kind. What came back? Anyway, let's go back to it.
You know, but that exercise, whole week, I had that exercise thinking, analyzing, possibly over-analyzing, but analyzing all my behaviors and all my acts.
Mm-hmm.
Was it nice or was it kind? It really made me think the differences between niceness and also the kindness, or what it is to be nice person and what it is to be a kind person. And obviously, in my personal conclusion, it is better to be kind than just being nice. Just going to the because I like to be a bit more technical on those things.
Thank goodness I'm not.
According to Cambridge Dictionary, I checked the difference between nice and kind.
Yeah,
and
I think it's really important. Yeah, go. Yeah.
Nice definition has it's pleasant, agreeable, and satisfactory. Kind is more on generous, helpful, and thinking about others' feelings.
That's a different definition than the one you gave me last week.
Yeah. Well, slightly similar, but I used a different dictionary this time, and it was the distinction is quite clear on this one. So nice is mostly on the, you know, socially, or the being, how people see from outside, see you outside. So you're being nice, so you're pleasant, you're socially acceptable, you're satisfying other people, but it doesn't really mean that's what's coming from inside. It doesn't really show that.
It's a bit like we were talking about a few weeks ago, the difference, I think it was the first episode, the second episode, one of these, the difference between pleasure and happiness. You remember?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And it just rings the bell so much. It rings a bell like something external comes to you and then something internal comes out. And that would be being kind comes from within and you just go outside. And then being nice or just to the outside and it's all external. It just doesn't stay within.
That is very true.
Hey, I'm on a roll this morning, hey. But it makes sense. I mean, it's like, okay, so I'm having this flashing idea and everyone, I just didn't even think about it. I've been winging the whole week and he's been doing research and you know, talking to everyone about niceness and I've been like in misery the whole fucking week. But the thing is, so this is a flashing, it's kind. If you're kind to yourself and you're kind from within, then you reach happiness.
Exactly.
And that's everlasting. If you're nice, that's kind of like part of the pleasure. You please other people. Yeah. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And also sometimes it's my personal experience, but when you're being nice, just being nice, sometimes it can actually give you frustration because you're being nice, but you're expecting people to react on it, or you give that advice because you're nice, but if this person didn't follow that advice, I used to get extremely frustrated because I gave the advice, but not really working, and that's actually not very kind. So
Yeah.
it's the something that they I read online. It was actually, I can read it out. It was the website called becomingwhoyouare.net.
I thought you were
do
gonna.
not do not ask me why I landed on that website, by the way. But
I won't, but I
yeah.
thought you were gonna say something like the other day at the meeting. You were like, "Yeah, I got it from the site, some psychology
Yeah,
net, something." I'm like, "Oh,
apparently it
seems
wasn't.
serious enough." Well, it's not. It's like
Yeah,
we're
but
we're going back.
still, that sentence was amazing. So
Yeah,
this person, who's been writing this blog on the psychological point of view, she was still
yeah.
writing from the psychological point of view, though.
Okay, okay,
That
okay.
she said, that kindness starts with empathy for yourself. If you are
Mhm.
all tapped out on helping someone, you feel frustrated, angry, or resentful. You need to be honest about this, at least with yourself. Kindness
Mhm.
is finding compassion and understanding for where the other person is in their life and their journey, while maintaining your own boundary and respecting your own needs.
Okay.
So it is
Well,
talking about the internal well-being as well, not just being selfless and
yeah.
being giving something to others. You also have to maintain your happiness inside and being
Yeah.
kind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like nurturing your light. You can't give
Yeah.
your light to other people because they're
Yeah.
gonna take it, and then what's happening to you?
Yeah.
You stay in the darkness, giving light to other
Exactly.
people. It's not great. I think it's so different to the concept we've been taught about being kind and
Yeah.
being. It's I don't know. Somehow it what you were saying before about you get frustrated and you get um, resentment
Yeah.
from if you don't get it back, if you don't
Yeah.
get the favor back. It's kind of like when you want to be right,
Mm-hmm.
and you just it links to the quote
Yeah.
you said last week, which I really love from Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Can you say it again?
Yes. So
Can you read again?
to be kind is more important to be right. Many times, what people need is not a brilliant mind that speaks, but a special heart that listens.
Mm.
Brilliant quote.
It's brilliant. I love
I
that
know.
quote. We could pin it and then that's it. We're just gonna go with it the rest of the show. You know, like that's it. That's our quote.
Yeah.
But it kind of relates to the frustration. So
Yeah.
if you want to be
Yeah.
right, you want to be nice, but you just giving advice, and
Yeah.
then someone doesn't take it, or
Yeah.
they just don't go your way, or they just don't behave the way you expect.
Yeah.
Then it kind of builds resentment, but it shouldn't build resentment being
I
kind to
know. I
someone.
know. And that's I think I mentioned that the one type of the people, which is osekai, which is the special word for people who are very nice to
Yeah,
others,
yeah,
but it's too much, and it's not, the people who are receiving that are not very happy about that because they're just being, going for, well, mind your own business kind. So interfere too
yeah,
much. And
yeah.
I researched a bit from the Japanese perspectives.
Mhm.
The differences between nice person and kind person. The
Yeah.
one big differences was the if this person lacks, or if this person have that quality of omoyari, which is
Mhm.
the one quality that I haven't really thought about it for some time, but it also
Okay.
connects to the Buddhism concept of benevolence. But it's
Okay.
called omoyari, and when you translate it into Japanese, from Japanese to English,
Mhm.
apparently it gives five different words. Which
Man.
is quite combined concept, although they are quite overlapping. So
Okay.
the five concepts are consideration. So you take time and you take space to think about that
Yeah.
deeply. And compassion, obviously. So you put yourself
Mhm.
into the other person's shoes. And kindness. which is in a way that this one is more genuine feeling that you want to help someone from the bottom of your heart, and
Yeah.
caring. So caring is
Yeah.
more on the you want to take care of other person, and the last part is the thoughtfulness. So you're thinking, you're really putting yourself into other person's shoes, but being very thoughtful and imagining the other person's situation. And when I actually research more about omoyari, it connects to as I said, it connects to the Buddhist concept of jihi, which I also mentioned last week, which is more really connected to the benevolence concept.
It was the one that came from within, right?
Yeah, comes from within. And
so go on.
So this benevolence, when I was reading from the Buddhist point of view, it was quite interesting to read that there were a lot of books just talking about how to have more omoyari quality in Japan.
Really?
And there are, I don't think there are a lot of them are translated, but a lot of mutual concept is that firstly, you need to train your imaginative skills.
Okay.
So you need to, because in order for you to have omoyari, in order for you to imagine yourself into other person's shoes, you need to actually think about, imagine yourself being other shoes. So you need to have a very good imaginative skills.
Imaginative, yeah.
And therefore, there were some articles that were talking about that's why the art courses, art lessons, or the creative lessons really pays off when you're a child. That you're doing more painting, you're doing more creative trainings in the beginning of your early childhood, gives you to train yourself to become, imagine the things that you don't see, and create something. So they were really talking about the skill to imagine things.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's such a cool thing. I could have lots of omoyari then.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the only word I can say right in Japanese. All the rest, I forgot them. It's like, omoyari, that's it. That's me in Japan.
Amazing.
I think, and also just, like going back to the general speech that there's less and less and less focus on the arts, and less and less focus on the creative skills, and it seems to be very secondary. It's like, it's not important, and it's all techie and it's all technical, and then it's just all managing. It's like is it the right side of your brain, right?
Yeah.
Left side is creative, yeah. So it's all about the right side of your brain and just like doing, hustle, and not really stopping and go creative and just produce something. And it's not about being good or bad at drawing or good or bad at, listening to music or anything that just helps you to just nurture that left side of your brain as well, which we're kind of forgetting in this society more and more. And it's so, like, as you say, we're creating, it's not great because people are going less and less empathetic.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense now. Oh, Japan. I need to go. I need to go to Japan. Never been in Japan, so now it's I just go and arrive at the airport and say omoyari, and then that's it. That's Marta too is in Japan.
I don't think many Japanese people expect you to know the word omoyari.
Yeah,
it's quite
I would
deep
say
word.
Hi omoyari. That's it.
Or you can say I have omoyari. So
I have omoyari. Yeah, exactly. Give me watercolors. I'll show you how much omoyari I have. But it's in Japan. That's a question that is popping up as well. Is in Japan the arts and the creative and the imaginative skills and the the focus on that left side of the brain, is it more, I don't know, do the governments do anything to reinforce that? Or is it something that is kind of getting lost as well, like in here?
This is completely from my point of view. The flip side of doing the creative side is that it also encourages the individualism, or more pushing your opinion on expressing yourself. And so Japan has a bit conflict on that part, because in Japanese culture or the Eastern Asian cultures, harmony is more prioritized than the individual opinion. So a lot of times you need to shut up and not to say, because it's gonna disturb the water.
But it would be harmony in society, not within yourself.
Not within yourself. It's always about the collective harmony, not the individual harmony.
Okay.
So art itself is quite difficult topic, because sometimes in general terms art can be extremely art is very good for, it's, the general understanding that art can grow your soul in that sense. But at the same time, in order for you to function as a puzzle piece in the society, you need to be same as others, or you need to be not too unique that disturbs the water. So there's a bit of conflicts in there.
So it's being creative enough to develop omoyari, but then that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Don't go too far.
Yeah, that's a difficult balance, isn't it, in Japan?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a difficult balance everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, being unique and being yourself, it's really tough everywhere.
It is. Yeah.
Because you're kind of, whether, for a reason or another, whether it's society, whether it's your upbringing, or you have many I lost the word. Damn it. You have many conditional, so you're conditioned by the environment.
Okay.
You grow in.
Yeah.
And sometimes because of, fear, and you don't want to be ashamed, or you don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
There's these lack of uniqueness. There's this kind of you don't let yourself be who you really are.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think I had a conversation yesterday actually with a good friend of mine. We've been friends for ever. I mean, we've known each other since we were in our teens, and we went to the same school. And she's gone to she went to do some work in Peru, and she found out that they were in the lockdown in Peru, and she said, "Oh, I'm gonna stay." So she was doing volunteering, and they just closed the project.
Yeah.
And everybody was kind of saying the same to us too, like, "Oh my God, you're gonna stay in London. You're gonna be on your own. Oh, this is so bad." And to her, it was like, "Oh my God, you're going to stay in Peru. Who knows?" And she was like, "No, I'm staying. I think it's the way I have to stay. And this is where I have to be."
Yeah.
So we hadn't spoken for a long time. And then we had a chat. And it's funny how we both found ourselves in this kind of journey. And we were in the same spot last year. More or less, and we were in a very similar situation. And now she was like, "You know what? I just found that you can get very, 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 I don't know, like once you find yourself, you find out, oh my God, I was so different because I was conditioned by all these, my group of friends, or my society, or my school, or the religion you've been brought in. And once you go out and are free to be who you are with no restrictions, you really understand I'm someone totally different to I thought I used to be.
Yeah.
And it's something that we were both like, oh my God, yeah. I mean, I found that too. And that is part of being kind to yourself.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, somehow, because it's being empathetic to yourself as well.
Yeah.
And saying, well, maybe I don't need this, or maybe I don't need that, or maybe this, I thought I liked it, but I don't really like it. And some things are more painful. And then, I don't know, to me, it happened that after a really miserable week, I'm just putting it very drama queen, but I think everyone went through the same kind of, it's so bad. And you know, and I was like, oh my God, where is my happiness? Where am I here? Oh, I saw a butterfly. Oh, sorry. You see, I'm back. But anyway, I went to the heath for a walk, and because I was like, I really need some air and some nature. Had been raining the whole week.
Depressing.
So yeah, and I came to the realization that, you know, I wasn't kind to myself. I wasn't being kind to myself, and I'm here just saying be kind to yourself and all this stuff, and reading books, and you know, I'm reading the Dalai Lama and all these lessons in Buddhism, and I'm like, oh yeah, they resonate with me like a lot. And I realized, well, you weren't doing any of that, love. And I just came to the, I don't know, just questioning myself. Is it the problem in this world and in this society? Is it the problem giving kindness or receiving kindness? Because I realized I had suffered for a long time, and then I had been, you know, pushed at the same spot on and on and on for a long time. And I created vulnerable, you know, my vulnerability said, you know, enough is enough.
Yeah.
I'm just going to protect you. And I had been protecting myself from suffering for a long time. And I don't know, I was just thinking, maybe that's the reason why I couldn't accept kindness from other people. Just like not entirely, not opening my heart and saying, oh my God, thank you for, you know, like wholeheartedly, because I would be afraid of suffering, and that's the fear of suffering again. And right now, I think everyone is in a fear state of, I don't want to suffer anymore.
Yeah.
So what is tougher, giving kindness or receiving kindness?
Sounds like a receiving kindness, because obviously how you are, and myself as well, to be honest, you know, when you're hurt, or when you have been recently betrayed by something, or you know, when someone mentally attack you, you always have a shield in front of you, and letting down your shield to be vulnerable again really takes courage, doesn't it? And it's extremely scary. I find it extremely scary to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, I cried like a lot, like I usually do. So I went to the heath and cried. That's going to be a song. She went to the heath and cried. But I just released that. I was like, you know, in my own personal journey, I was like, I don't need that anymore. I don't need to protect myself anymore from suffering, because I think the point, and I read this in the book from Brené Brown, the Dare to Lead. It's great. I love her. I love her. It's so amazing. Anyway, so I was reading that you have to protect your back, you know, to open your heart, and that's how you know, you're vulnerable, but you have your backup system, and that's the one that allows you to be open and to receive kindness and to receive feedback and to appreciate really love from other people. And I thought, oh my God, yeah, I had like a no shit moment. Like, shit, yeah. And all these months that I was in confinement, I think I was in protection shield, and my mind was like, we're gonna do things. You're just gonna get to know yourself really well, and then just like kind of striving for perfection.
Yeah.
And excellence, just like I'm gonna be a master of myself, and I'm gonna know myself to the core, and I'm gonna do all these things, and it was doing, and I think I hit rock bottom. Rock bottom.
Yeah.
I hit rock bottom on Monday, and I was like, I'm really tired, and because I've been doing these book, and it turned out to be 500 pages from diaries, and my mom was like, oh, it's not enough. I'm like, okay, so what do you do? I'm gonna do 32 illustrations in watercolor in 2 days. Why not? I'm just gonna go on go get it, on pure ambition. And my mom was like, it's not enough, you have to publish in a week and a half. And my family was like, you don't need to. It's all right. Why do you want to put yourself more pressure when you don't really need to? You don't have any deadline. It's absolutely fine. I was like, I don't know. I just feel I can. And everything seems to be going fine. Like, by Friday, I'm going to publish. I'm just going to put it out there. And I have to write the preface. And I just couldn't. And I went to shower and I cried again. Like, oh my God, I can't write anything. And I go to my mom and I say, and she's like, maybe you need a break. No, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. My dad was like, well, is that it? And I'm like, just like crying. And to my mom as well. And then just like, I was talking to both of them, and they both gave me the same advice. You need a rest. You need a break.
Yeah.
And you really need a break because you look really tired.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I think I need to. So the next day, and I was really overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know how to write a preface. By the way, I haven't written it yet. I'm like, fuck it. But it will be. But I went to my family saying, I think I'm just going to take a break from writing for, a week or so. And they were like, yes, that's absolutely fine. Go. My mom would send me like, going to the heath, helps you boosting your mood and stuff. I'm like, I know that, but it's fucking raining. But that took me to the realization that I wasn't being neither empathetic, neither giving me the space I needed to actually rest from a lot of growth that I had been, working on over the last almost 3 months.
Yeah.
And my body needed to rest, and I wasn't given that rest because I was on that right side of the brain saying, go, get it. Yeah. And when I rested and I thought, is that being kind? And that was the only time I actually thought about niceness and kindness.
Niceness and kindness, yeah.
Was I being nice to myself, or was I actually being kind? I was like, I wasn't very kind.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And it's really hard to realize about it.
When you consciously decided to take a break, were you being kind to yourself?
Yeah. I needed that. I needed a week of, okay, I'm going to do, plus I'm working. It's not that I'm on holidays. So everything all together, and I was like, I'm just going to put my hours on my working hours. And then after that, I'm going to watch these new movies. Fuck it. And I didn't want to read. I didn't want to, I just wanted to go to bed and rest, and that's it. Yeah. And I thought, okay, now I think I'm being kind to myself, because I'm respecting the moments I need to rest. And that's something very hard to realize when you're in a culture that pushes you to do all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I completely sympathize and empathize both of them because, to be honest, I also push myself quite a lot as well. Have you ever heard the concept of a bit more technical part again? The concept of time famine.
Time? Sorry?
Famine. It's like a potato famine, but time famine. So it's a lack of time.
Oh, really? I haven't heard it before.
There's a lot of different researches on being for the time is a lot of times for individuals, time is more subjective rather than objective, which would mean that time, even if you have more time, you feel like you don't have enough time. And you feel always being chased by the deadlines or the deadlines that you have set up. And that always leads to unhappiness, or that always leads to unnecessary stress. And because I was reading about the effect of being locked in the same room, and also the technology development, you feel like the technology is definitely giving you more time, and because you don't have to commute, it's giving you more time. But objectively, that is true. But subjectively, from your perception, you feel like you are always checking emails, you're always checking something online, or you keep feeling like you need to learn something constantly. And that makes you feel like I'm not resting at all. And that concept, there are several books on, I forgot the author's name, but it's about how to be idle. So it talks about the importance of being on idle. So not doing anything, it's doing something.
Yes, exactly. And it's so I think there's these artwork from a Japanese is he a painter? I think so.
Okay.
It's called the Infinite, and it's a square, it's a circle, and it's a triangle, and they're interconnected. And I got it from the book How the World Thinks, from Baggini.
Okay. Baggini, Julian
Baggini.
Yeah.
Well, it should be Baggini. Anyway, but it just tells how in the Japanese culture or the Asian cultures is more about the space, and in the Western cultures it's more about what we do filling the space. So we focus on what's inside of the space, and we don't really appreciate the space itself.
Yeah.
And I think it has a lot to do with how we actually manage our time.
Yeah.
We have to fill things up. We have to fill it all the bloody time. And there's no resting, no time to, when you grow or when you're healing, or when you're, when you're just working on something that is making you become something bigger or expanding, you need periods of rest. And that's necessary.
It is necessary.
Same as when you're ill. And I thought, are we being kind to ourselves? It's very hard. I don't know. I just said it many times, but it's that the culture itself doesn't let us be kind to ourselves, because it doesn't give us any space to allow.
Yeah.
It's all about out, and not within.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, if we all focus on letting the shields down and opening to vulnerability, and saying, I'm just going to focus on receiving kindness, and that doesn't mean that you're selfish. It's all about, I'm just gonna open my heart, just like that, and just allow love from other people. It would be something totally different, because we will focus on the positive intentions instead of the negative, like, oh, they did that, and look at that, there's some bad intention behind, and it's always thinking about the bad intention, always on the protective shield, because we've gone through so much suffering. And if I go and say, well, I think that was a nice gesture, it goes back to what I was saying last week about being innocent and kind. And someone would say to me, oh, come on, grow up. You need to, the world is cruel and you just have to see what's, the bad intention behind. It's like, well, yeah, maybe I see it, but it's like to focus on the good intention. And then I'll see I'm protected. It's not that I'm just going like, hey, free falling into whatever. No, but being wise enough to appreciate the positivity behind a gesture, but maybe it doesn't really fit with your expectations at all. But just seeing the kindness out of the person and allowing to receive it instead of going, well, and then that thing was negative, and then you just point something negative. How is it gonna evolve to a much more kinder world if we don't really do it from our own selves?
I think that relating to how can we do that part? Especially receiving the kindness. I have been really trying to do that, to make more time to do that. But something that I have been doing that since childhood, but I have forgotten to do that recently, is to, before I go to bed, I list things that what I'm appreciative of. 3 things only. So in a way that you'll keep, some people have different way of thinking. So some people keeps the gratitude diary. I don't like looking at my mobile phone before I go to bed. So I normally just sit down and think what I'm grateful for or the thankful for. That really puts your mind into a bit more positive side of other person's actions, and I'm not sure if it will, but it might help you to, or at least help me to really validate other person's kindness towards me. And just saying it out loud, it's definitely, saying it out loud, it really validates and also kind of appreciate more of that kindness.
And I do it too, but I write it down on my journal. So I journal every night, and I just focus on 3. I mean, I vent off as well, and I go drama king if I want to, because that's like blah. But even if the day was really crap, I would go and say, okay, these 3 things enlightened my day. And if it was really, really grey, dark grey, but these 3 things, so I do the same. And it does help. I don't know. It helps to me, and it helped me through very tough moments. Just focusing on something positive. So it keeps you anchored and I was watching Maleficent 2, but I'm not going to give any spoilers because it's rather new. But there's a moment, and she's like in the midst of, I hate everyone betrayed me, la la la, and there's a war going on, and these 2 creatures, and one of them is a leader of the clan, and the other one is like a warrior. He and the warrior wants to focus on war, and the humans are really bad, la la la, fight, hate. And then the other one is like a Yoda. And I remember the Munch and Yoda figures that we talked on the 3rd or the 2nd one.
Second
on
section,
the intuition and the fear. These leader of the clan was saying to her, you can't act from rage or fear or hate, because that doesn't lead you to good decisions. You're always going to regret. So you have to act from love and kindness. And it's pretty hard because you have to let your ego out and really focus on yourself and reboosting, and then maybe it takes a little longer, so it's not as just going and like fiery, and
not the spontaneous way.
You need to calm down. You need to calm down, and then you can make the right decision to whatever is going on in your life. But you need time, and I just find we're not being allowed, even if we're in a lockdown, but still, we have loads of conceptions of allowing ourselves time to rest and time to just be. So yeah, in the meantime, until we just grow into another kindness, kind society, which I have hopes for. Journaling is a very good and gratefulness. It's an amazing technique, and it really helps to build some kindness up.
And raising self-awareness, or I think reflecting on that positive aspect in your life on that day really enlighten. And also it's great to fall asleep with that thoughts.
Yeah.
rather than thinking about that's a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And you just fall asleep.
I know. I mean, the other thing that it helps a lot, but it's not everyone's cup of tea, is meditation.
True.
I've been meditating every day for a year. I've been on and off meditation for like 5 years, but consistently for like a year. And it's incredible how it calms you down. And when I was feeling really, really low and in so much like, I hate the world and I hate everything. And it's just so, it would just calm me down to think, no, we're just going to stop. We're going to stop and we're going to think and then we act. Because then, it's just not going to lead you to the right way. It just doesn't make you to the right decision. So, I think next week we have to watch Star Wars. I just have this big urge of, I need to get messages from Star Wars.
Ooh, all right. Well, we're going to talk about which episode to start with later.
Oh, let's see about that. I'm a newbie, so episode 1. I know it goes in different ways.
Yeah.
Does it?
Start from the episode 4 to anyway, I'll explain that.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Right.
Okay, we need to wrap up.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be a long one. But I was very glad we reached all these conclusions on kindness and niceness and being right or wrong. Yeah, it's been a cool one.
And also importance of receiving kindness.
Receiving kindness. What about receiving kindness?
That,
so, yeah. But our motto is always going to be treat yourself with kindness anyway. Because you can receive kindness and be kind to other people. So it all goes together. So what's the quote of the week?
I have 2 good ones.
Oh, wow.
However, I'm going to choose one.
Okay.
So, probably I'm going to go for this one. It's by Harold Kushner. He is the rabbi, and he wrote a lot of books on how to deal with difficult times or how to deal. One of the famous books is called "When the Bad Things Happen to Good People."
I know it. I know. Yeah.
And that's actually the quote from that book. He just clearly says that do things for people not because who they are or what they do in return, but because of who you are.
Yeah. It's all aligned. It's like when you're aligned with yourself, you kind of, it's like the law of attraction, like likes attract likes, is it? A likes attract? Oh, come on, I'm really thinking.
Oh, they attract. I know the Japanese phrase.
Damn it.
Yeah.
We're going to have it.
Yeah.
Well, but just like
what was
forces aligned, they kind of attract each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it's in Japanese saying it's similar kind of attract to each other, but it's
similar to attract to each other. It wasn't that deep or whatever. Yeah, we have the same one. Yeah. Even though I'm Spanish, but whatever. We have the same one in Spain.
Ah,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd you say it?
I can't remember.
Did you just get
I got blocked in my native language. How can this happen? It's like I've been speaking in English and I've been writing in English for a very long time. How embarrassing. Come on. 5 languages for this to get stuck in my own bloody language, native language. No, because I have the opposite, like opposites attract, and it's not opposites attract. Similar. Anyway, I just go back to what you can say.
All right. So,
yeah.
What is your song of the week then?
I have two.
Oh, you have two. Okay.
I have two. One is called Phoenix by Gregory Porter. He's a jazz singer. He's amazing.
Okay.
And I think it's his latest single. And it says something like love is like a phoenix and it rises from the ashes. And I'm like, that's so sweet. That's
nice.
pretty much like resilience in love. And I think we should all be, open to that. And the other one, I'm just going to look for the name of the song. It's an Argentinian group called ONDA VAGA.
Okay.
And
ONDA VAGA.
Yeah, and the song is Tataralí, I think it's called. We just put it on YouTube anyway.
Okay.
But it's in Argentine. I mean, it's in Spanish. But it says something like, I went out for a walk and I started to think, why do I have to accept what makes me unhappy? Something like that. And I thought, yeah, that's pretty much like what I've been thinking the whole week.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think it's such a good message.
Yeah.
It's a really cool band. So these two,
right.
for the week, and
nice.
It's time to say goodbye. So I'm not forgetting this time, guys. You can follow us on. Well, you say that part. No, come on, I'm just
Twitter.
all messed up. So you go and say where you can follow us.
We are on Twitter. It's the Gray Area 09, I think.
Oh, come on. It's a Gray Area 19. I'll do it then. So Twitter, the Gray Area 19, and then you can send us an email to info@thegrayarea.online.
Well, yes, you're getting it right then.
Yeah, second time in a row. That's amazing.
And also then, we are on the website. We have the website, so it's the grayarea.online, and we are on everywhere on podcasts, so Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify,
plenty
and
to
Stitcher.
Choose from.
Yeah, there you go.
And if you want to post a comment or subscribe, you can subscribe on YouTube as well, and just post a comment on YouTube. That would be great as well if you like it. And we see you. Well, we will go back to you next week.
Yes. All right. So have a lovely week.
And treat yourself with kindness and receive kindness from other people as well.
Receive kindness.
And receive kindness and love.
All right.
Bye.